Good evening and welcome to the March 3rd, 2026 Finance Committee for the Town of Hollis. We will start with our roll call to the left.
Jim Booton.
John Moran.
Joe Ponzetti.
Shelley Brooks. Janet Gilmore.
Quorum being present, I call the meeting to order. First item on the business schedule is the approval of the meeting minutes for February 24th, 2026. Do I have a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor of accepting the minutes of February 24th, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. No, for new business, we will be reviewing the budgets as they are laid out. It looks like we have a strong contingent for Parks and Rec. Rather than make you folks wait, we'll move you to the head of the pack.
Appreciate that. Some of the folks back here are saying they're having a hard time hearing. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Can you, is that all right? Yeah. Yeah, I want you to be able to hear.
Say it again.
How's that, okay?
Everybody hear okay now?
Okay. Deb, Chip, who's going to present for the Parks and Recreation?
I'm Debbie Taft, and this is Chip Courier. How do you want to go about this?
Where would you like us to start? Because we got a few things.
Well, why don't you tell me how you're going to present? I would assume you're going to go through the budget on a line item.
Only if you need us to.
Oh, yeah, I do. So, yes, if you would, please.
Is that a yes?
So you're going to start with the sports complex, or are you going to?
Yeah, we could do that. Okay. Our proposal for 26-27 fiscal year is $66,923. Wow, that's loud now. Right, for miscellaneous, $2,000. For phone, $528. For heat, repairs and maintenance, $200. Propane, $1,000. Electricity, $2,800. Supplies, $3,000. Mowing, $13,000. Site maintenance, $7,000. Field maintenance through Davy Tree, $5,200. Irrigation, $5,000. Landscaping, $8,000. Playground is $0 this year. Portable toilets, $3,395. Internet, $1,400. Labor, $4,600. And we put in $10,000 for capital improvement, which we hope will help us replace the windows in the rec building, because we can't even close them now without nailing them shut. So, any questions?
So when you say the rec building, what building is that?
It's not the concession stand, it's the other building where the summer rec kids.
Because I thought that we had allocated money last year for that already. We had moved it from the 200,000 towards getting those windows replaced and the windows over in the community building.
I think you may be right. I know we have, was allocation for the
Windows here
community
and
center to have those prices, but I honestly don't know where. Chip, do you have the, no.
Jack
See,
was the
I
last
don't
one
know
I did.
where those stand. 'Cause
I
they were
mean,
never
I don't
handed
have
to
a
me.
problem with putting the 10,000 in, but I think we had already allocated for the windows unless you have something else you want.
Well, it wouldn't just be, we need windows in the concession stand also, because there's a couple that are broken out as well. So the windows in whole, if the money that was allocated doesn't cover it, the capital improvement could.
Because the windows were just for that, your summer rec building.
Summer rec building were
Yeah.
about 10,000.
Right. So I don't have a problem with that.
Okay.
And I think we put that there because we weren't sure what was happening with
Yeah.
the other stuff.
Any clarification from the presenters?
For the purpose of discussion, I'll move to approve the budget as it's written.
Okay, do we have a second?
No, second.
Okay, discussion.
So if there, excuse me, if that was allocated last year, that would that have appeared in this budget, or was that in another budget? Do we know? For that $10,000 allocation? I'm just wondering if there's a carry forward for that work that,
I think either way, we're gonna find that we're gonna need some money for repairs for the concession stand as well as, so either way we balance it, it's gonna look like we're gonna need some money.
So we took it out of the 200,000, that we have the authority to spend. And at the time we did, we had done a couple increases in salary based on an increase we had done. And we did the windows in the community building and there. And it was supposed to just be moved into those specific accounts, but when I asked Diane about it, she wasn't sure how that was done, so we'll need to check with our auditor and find out how that was done. But windows are fairly expensive, so if they want to do both, they probably need both amounts, but I'll check on that.
okay, thank you.
Yep.
Any other items that we want to review or discuss?
But they went down.
Okay, no further discussion. Let's take a vote. All in favor of accepting this budget as presented, say aye.
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 Okay. Next. Go ahead.
Okay,
Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec. Okay. Total there, the total for that, is that the bottom?
Yeah.
Okay, our proposed budget for 26-27 for Parks and Rec is $473,730.55. Line by line, miscellaneous expenses, $3,750. Our group accident insurance is $1,650. Postage, $3,200. Mileage, $800. Wages, which includes my salary, Chip's salary, administrative assistant's salary, and the director of childcare salary, is $171,787.20. Program wages, $8,507.76. Childcare wages, $94,587.08. Summer rec wages, $82,038.66. Extended summer rec wages, $2,709.85. Training and workshops, $300. Dues and member fees, $500. Office supplies, $1,750. Printing and ads, $5,040. Computer expenses, $4,000. Supplies, $1,700. Civic rec comp program, $5,000. Bus maintenance, $8,567. Administration for summer rec, $4,724. Senior bus trips, $7,500. Summer rec transportation, $5,730. Portable toilets, $1,620. Equipment, $500. First aid and medical supplies, $300. Summer program expenses, $17,428. Parks and grounds expenses, $10,266. Fall programs, $5,900. Spring programs, $5,255. Year-round expenses, $3,900. Winter program expenses, $4,600. Childcare expenses, $10,120. And that would be it. Questions?
For line items 1205 down, could you just explain why the increase? Because those seem to be the biggest.
I really can't hear you.
Could you just go through lines 1205 down? Because those seem to be the ones that are increasing more, almost by half, from the last year's budget to this year's budget. I just want to know what else is included, like why did the expenses go up? That's all. It's all your program expenses.
1205, yep, right there, summer rec program expenses.
Okay, it's not just summer rec, it's everything we do in the summertime. So it's summer rec, extended rec. There's some money in there for Community Day for prizes, which we are responsible for. And I believe a summer road race that we do as a fundraiser. Everything went up. There's a lot of expenses went up. But for summer rec, it includes the field trip fees. So basic rec went up and Junior Explorer Group went down. So kind of evened out a little bit. One of the biggest increases was the next line, 1206, which is our Parks and Grounds expense. For the past few years, we haven't been using the Clark's Mills field, so we stopped maintaining it in terms of using Davy Tree to fertilize and whatnot. This year, however, the Bonnie Eagle Softball League is going to be using that field pretty regularly in the spring, and from what Chip has said, that they have related to him, and they're going to use it in the summertime also. So we're going to start those treatments up again. Okay. So there may be a little bit more mowing there. You know, it's kind of guesswork depending on weather and whatnot. But we will have to do some work on the concession stand and whatnot over there. So,
Which a lot of that I actually got a grant for recently, so we got like $4,000 in a grant that we can spend over there as well.
Parks and Grounds also includes the maintenance of the Babe Ruth Field, which is the biggest field closest to the road down here. We're going to have to do some work to bring that up too, because co-ed softball will be using that. And we also need turfus at the sports complex, which is it's material you put down for the infield, so it's a little bit safer.
All of that stuff has gone up pretty high for expenses because of the tariffs and everything that we've been seeing, so.
Yep. Okay. The next line is fall programs. Fall programs include our youth soccer program, which would include, you know, all the balls and team shirts, trophies, pennies. Also includes the Halloween party, floor hockey. We do another Halloween event at the sports complex, which we call Ghostly Lights, where we have pumpkin carving and they do a haunted walk and we have a bonfire. And we also do a road race in the fall. What's next? Spring programs.
It went up because of those.
Yeah, we kind of were winging it with co-ed softball and coach pitch baseball. But we actually put it in our budget this year because we anticipate that we're going to get a little bit more enrollment from coach pitch baseball because more kids are coming back to us from the Bonnie Eagle program. And co-ed softball, there were 2 teams that were playing last year on that field. So that also includes spring track, Easter egg hunt, T-ball, Pee-wee basketball, and another road race. So what's next? Year-round programs include adult exercise, kinder gym, men's open gym, or women's open gym when that's going also. What am I forgetting? Crafts, painting. Yeah, chair yoga, oil painting, drawing, those kind of things.
Community luncheons.
Yeah, community luncheons, cribbage.
Yep.
All right, winter programs include the Deck the Halls event that we do out here, the drive-through event. Winterfest, if we can actually get it in. A snowshoeing event. Chip has added a New Year's Eve lock-in where the kids come and spend the night and their parents can go do their thing. Also, we do Christmas workshops where the children can come make presents for their family. And the biggest increase in that one was because we added boys basketball, because the Bonnie Eagle Boys League kind of dispersed, so it came back to the towns. And we also added volleyball, because we're lucky enough to have some residents in town who are actually Olympians and medal winners in the Olympics, and they are willing to run a clinic for us. So that's about it. Childcare expenses, that includes before and after care, includes the wages, not the wages, but what it takes us to run the program in terms of feeding 50 to 60 kids every day after school, and to buy supplies for them to do projects and whatnot. They do different things to get to know their sponsors. We have different gatherings. We do a big gathering at Thanksgiving time and at Christmas time with the sponsors and the children. And that about covers that.
I appreciate that.
Yep.
That's very good, thank you.
Joe? Yes. I wonder if you can give us the revenue streams that you have for your aftercare and for your summer program so that we can relate these to the
The
budget?
actual ones are what we're projecting for next year.
Well, the ones that we know for sure this year, perhaps, 2025, you know those numbers, 2025?
Where we're at right now.
24, 25?
Let me find the right page. I think I have it. Nope, I don't. I left it on my desk. Dick, do you have those? Do you have the last monthly report?
Yeah, I might.
I had it on my desk. I apologize. I thought I had it in. I just got it today. That would give you an update.
All I'm trying to show is that this is just not all expense, that there are incomes involved with it too, so the taxpayer will understand what they're paying for.
Right.
Thank you.
Basketball field maintenance, getting close.
The second batch behind might be the monthly.
No, it's gonna be in here.
I think what Don's asking is, just in general, we know that a lot of these programs are also charge a fee, and there is a remuneration for a lot of these activities, and you do generate funds that go
Right.
towards this program. I don't know what we generated last year. Mary, do you have any idea what they generated last year? But it's a considerable amount.
I know last time I looked, we were at about, what we were at was about 111,000, what we've generated just in childcare income alone.
Yeah.
Just in childcare alone?
Just in childcare.
And what would your guess be for the summer programs?
That does not include the summer programs. That is just our before, after care, our vacation camps, our play days, stuff
But
like
what
that.
would the revenue be for the summer programs approximately? Do you have any idea on that? 'Cause that's
So-
included in this budget, right? The summer,
Is that included in this budget, or is it next year's summer program?
He wants to know what we brought in from last summer, pretty much, right?
right, yeah.
Yeah.
Last summer, I can give you an estimate.
Yeah.
We had 125 kids at $925 a kid, which would be 115,625 roughly.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
That's
not
what
all of them were first child, but
Yeah, I thought that last year, your revenue stream was over $200,000.
It was definitely over 200,000 last year.
And those numbers rough out to about 230, so.
Yeah. What we have projected right now for 26, 27 is we have 240,000 for childcare for just our aftercare, vacation camps, play days, and emergency. And then another 115,000 just for summer rec is what
Oh, well,
is
okay.
projected.
Well, that's quite a lot when you take a look at a $500,000 budget and you've got 300+ thousand coming toward it, so that's pretty good. Thank you.
Yeah, I think our deficit was only 80,000 when I went and did the projected part of it. So we were only $86,869 away from what our budget really is.
All right, well, thank you.
Yeah.
And so the purpose of discussion, Mr. Chairman, I'll move that we approve the budget as it's presented.
I'll
Okay,
second.
Second. All in favor? Oh, any further discussion? I just have one question, Chip. The bus, that was a new addition last year.
The bus
Could
was
you-
a new addition.
Yeah, could you just give us a quick rundown how that's working out for you?
Right now, it's working out really well. We ran into a couple of snags, nothing that we didn't expect of buying a dollar bus, though. But we put about 9,000 into it, 7,000 of which was to get it back up into perfect running order. The rest was all expenses for what we used it for, summer rec, field trips and stuff like
Yeah, I
that.
remember last year, I thought that was pretty clever how you went about getting it. And also, the fact that I believe you are the one that drives it.
I
Is that
am.
correct? You
Yep.
were able to get a license to drive it?
I did.
Yeah.
and having that bus lets us do a lot of other things that we would not be able to afford to do if we did not have that.
bet
Like
that does.
Friday night, we took a busload of kids to the Maine Celtics game.
Yeah,
And
wow.
we wouldn't have been able to afford to do that in the past if we had to lease a school bus from MS86, so.
Well, congratulations for, being innovative. Yeah.
And then, I don't know if anybody else noticed, but it's been a really cold winter. And what I see mornings when I come in is Chip revving that bus up and taking those kids over to school so they don't have to walk when it's minus whatever.
Very good. Excellent. You should be applauded for that. Thank you. Okay, all in favor of accepting the budget as presented? Say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Deb, are you part of this pickleball? I guess it's a pickleball group that's here?
We're speaking to that also. John could not make it tonight because his wife is sick. We don't have paperwork on that yet because we're waiting. We've been in touch with the company that gave us the proposal in 2000, last year. So we're trying to really nail down the amount we would need to match the state funding if we qualify for the state grant. We would like it to be put on the warrant again with a little different wording so that people would understand that you can't have one without the other. I think last year, they didn't necessarily understand that if they didn't subsidize that request, then we didn't qualify for matching funds. So the pickleball group has been doing fundraising. They've gotten money from Narragansett Foundation. They've gotten a couple of different donations from Wilkinson Foundation. And Wilkinson Foundation told me they'd be very willing to put some more money into it if they know that the town is supporting that. I think the town needs to know that the Sports Complex Committee and the Recreation Department are all for this. It would free up the old courts. We could turn that back into a tennis court, and basketball would have more use of that if pickleball was in a different location. What we're trying to narrow down is exactly what we would need to get the matching funds. Right now, there's $78,600 in the pickleball fund. So I think last year we requested $75,000. But like I said, Chip has called this company, Beaver Brook,
Yep.
and we're waiting for them to get back to us because he's waiting to hear from his subcontractors to see what kind of an increase there might be. The numbers that we're looking for this year would include the development of a road back to the site where the courts are going to be, so it would be handicap accessible.
Just to give you an idea of where they were looking, I don't know if you can see this or not on the, but this being the Plains Road parking lot, the road would come down, this area would be where the new courts would go. There'd be 4 courts there.
You can pass it around.
Yeah,
He's gonna give you a close-up shot of it.
oh,
He zoomed in on you.
you zoomed in on me right as I was walking away. You wanna try zooming in on me again? Which way do I go? This way. Oh.
There you go.
There we go.
Get there.
So this would be the new road coming down, and then pickleball courts would go right about there.
The new road will be coming off of the big parking lot that's off of Plains Road.
How would this be maintained, and how would this impact the Park and Rec's budget?
I don't see, it wouldn't impact our budget at all as right now. We already put money aside for pickleball, and we do have a maintenance person who maintains our complex already, which we budget for.
The pickleball group,
yeah.
so far, has covered most of their expenses. They buy their own balls, they buy their own equipment, they do fundraisers, so.
They
it's like-
they fixed our courts last time too, so that they were nice and brand new over there as well. So that last top coat that we got was purchased by them.
Is it a pay-to-play type of setup? I don't know anything about the group, the pickleball group, or if they're incorporated, or what kind of group they are. Are they like a 501c3?
They pay, they give donations as they can. Most of these people pay every time they come. Yeah. So they're collecting money all the time, and then if they run tournaments, you have to pay to be in the tournament. And we're always looking for grants. We're looking for grants all the time to try to offset that cost.
Is there an organization? Are they organized as a group?
Sort of. I mean, I don't know. Deb Wintle, John has been pretty instrumental, and Deb Wintle handles the money and then turns it into Diane at the town office. They're not a 501(c)(3) as of yet. They don't have officers per se to be like, I don't even know how to say it, a professional committee or whatever, but they're a pretty tight-knit group, and they're very gun-ho. They've paid for the repairs of the old courts, and the old courts, the way it was built, we kind of jumped in without having a lot of knowledge about it, and you're going to have to do those repairs every year or every other year.
If they're not an entity, how would they go about raising funds, and how would they collect the funds, and how would the funds be dispersed?
Everything would go through the town office.
Everything goes through the Parks and Recs?
No,
No, it has its own.
they have their own account with the treasurer.
So I guess I'm not following. Who would be applying for the grant?
We've been applying for the grant under the Parks and Rec Department. That's how it's been working, is when we got together and did the land trust grant last time, we applied for it under us as being the givers of the money originally, and then to get it back.
So all the money and all the contracting, everything would flow through Parks and Rec?
Yes, that's how we have set it up in the past, yes.
So it would just be something else that you would have under your umbrella for services that you render to the town? So
You could look at it that
in
way, yeah.
effect, you're asking for the $75,000.
Well, of sorts, yes. Yeah, I'm all about, I would like to see that happen, but right now, it's not part of our budget, but I suppose you could put it in as a capital expenditure if that's the way you wanted to go.
Well, I think that's how it looks like it's structured to me. I don't know who, somebody has to apply for the money, and somebody has to receive the money,
Yeah.
and then somebody has to do the work.
Well, originally, the pickleball group, there were people that met with us and John and a couple other people who had some expertise in writing the grant. And they wrote the original grant, but that dead-ended after the ballot, when the second part of it got voted down. And then it kind of came back to us because John's circumstances changed, so he hasn't been able to spend as much time doing it. So we've just tried to keep the ball rolling, and we've been in touch with the state to make sure that our site was still going to be approved and that we still qualify for the state funding if we can get matching funds.
So it's really an operation that's going to be under the auspices of your park and recreation right now. Why would you ask to go back or ask us to endorse something that the town defeated last time around if you're not making any changes? If you're not reducing the size of the complex? I think you had 4 courts last time. Would you be doing 2 courts this time? Are you resubmitting the exact same proposal that you submitted last year that was defeated?
I'm not really sure yet. We're waiting to get the information from the contractor, and then we would know exactly what the amount would be. But like I said, we have $78,600 in that account right now. And depending on what their estimate is, then we would be able to tell you a concrete number. But right now, this minute, we don't have that.
I also believe last time we came up, we only had about 25,000. So we're looking at a completely different number here. We've added 50,000 already. So last time we stood up here, we had 25,000. We were hoping to get to 75,000. That way we could get matched for the 100,000.
What was the original cost for the proposal you guys put together
The
before?
original cost was 208,000.
Okay.
And that was where we were trying to get to with the 75 last year, because we had 25. We were hoping to get the 75 to make it 100.
Okay.
So what are you looking for from us tonight? Anything? You looking for our recommendation for you to put an article on the warrant?
We're hoping to get it on the warrant, yes.
I certainly wouldn't object to you putting an article in the warrant if the selectman and the town manager want to do that, because the legislative body, the public, is going to decide on it, and they should be the ones that are deciding on it, because they're also playing in the pickleball court, so.
I think the
I'm
wording
comfortable
last
with
time was a
doing that.
little off.
Pardon me?
Something to keep in mind.
Come right up.
When we first started, if you look at like the thing called Team Reach, and that's how like people communicate with each other and say, hey, this is where we're playing, who's gonna show up, do we have people to play? It's called Team Reach. When we started Team Reach, what do we have, like 33 people on it? How many do we have now?
Closer to 200.
I think it's actually closer to 250. So the people involved and participating and taking part has increased immensely. You're bringing more people into our community. It's something the kids can use. It's something everybody can use. It's a handicapped accessible pickleball court. Do you realize how few there are of those around here? Come on, guys. Seriously.
You're getting no objection from me, and
No,
I don't think from anyone else.
but I'm trying to make you understand that this is something, it's a growing sport. It has, well,
I
watch
think
the
we
news.
understand.
You know what I mean? It's a thing, okay?
I don't want to cut you off, but we have a snowstorm. I
So
wanna
I'm just
limit
getting
this
cut off.
Open.
But I've
to the
said what I
public.
want to say, and, but the amount of interest in this sport has increased incredibly. And
Okay,
you've got a
all right.
lot of people that are going to take
Okay,
advantage
thank you.
of it.
That's, I think getting back to Don's question, what are you asking us to do this evening?
I think what I would ask for is them to try to get for the next meeting some firm numbers on how much it's going to cost, so we can decide if we want to put on the warrant 50,000 or 75,000. Because they have raised additional money, And I don't know if they've included what the road cost would be.
We're waiting for that information, the proposal we're waiting for,
But
will include that.
I think we're gonna have another meeting, so maybe you could just put it, table it until the next meeting when we have more exact costs, because then we can figure out what we really need to ask for, because I think part of the objection was the 75,000 that was on the warrant last time. 50 or 60 might do better, I don't know.
Can I ask, how much is the grant that,
The grant's matching. Whatever we put up, we'll get back from the state as
oh,
well.
okay, so it's unlimited matching?
Unlimited matching.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, I move that we table this issue until next meeting, until we can get more information.
Do I have a second?
I'll
Second.
All in favor? There is no discussion with a motion. All in
Aye.
favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate you.
Yep.
And you're more than welcome to stay, or you're welcome to because of the weather, so thank you.
Okay, next, on our budget review, we're going to go back to the beginning, and that will be animal control. Please introduce yourself and
Yep. My name is Sean Cabral, and I'm the Animal Control Officer for Hollis. I don't have the budget thing in front of me, but as you can see, I don't use much.
Good try.
Yeah, well. So I don't use a lot of hours, but it has gone up a little bit. I don't think I'm going to go over what's on the budget. The only thing I'm
Can I just
asking-
ask you to raise the microphone up a little bit, so, yeah, perfect. Well,
Can you hear me?
I couldn't before, so, there we go. Beautiful.
Did you hear what I said?
No, start over, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't use much in the budget, as you can see. As far as hours and everything, I doubt I'm gonna go over what's on here for the hours. We've changed the mileage because I seem to travel a lot, looking for dogs and other animals, and I gotta go down to the shelter sometimes and bring the animals down there. So the mileage is higher than normal. We doubled it. We doubled it. And the only other thing I was asking for was the dog box to go in the back of my truck because I use my own personal vehicle. That is that thing, yes. Did they see it?
Yeah, we have it.
You got one? Okay. Yeah. So the problem is having these animals in the back of my seat of my truck, as you can imagine. I've already had a couple accidents from them because they're scared. It's pretty typical. And I don't want to ruin my vehicle with that. So this box would go in the back and I could use it in the wintertime and put these animals in the box and they'd be safe and it would be insulated. And it also has a drawer on the bottom. I can put all my tools in there, my catch pole, whatever else I have. I have all kinds of other small things. Yeah, bears, right. Right. But that's it. That's all I have.
Where, does this appear in your budget? $1,809?
It is under probably miscellaneous expenses, I would assume. It's $2,000.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I don't know if that includes shipping. I don't know if there's a shipping cost on that.
I would think so.
It doesn't say, but that would be my assumption.
There's nothing you can get locally, right?
No.
Well, the price on that's 1,800, and there's a couple hundred more if necessary for shipping, so I think we can get it here.
All right.
Yeah.
For the purpose of discussion, I move to accept the budget as presented.
Second.
any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Thanks.
Good, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Next budget item, assessor.
Lost the audience. Hi, my name's Mary Hoffman. I'm going to do the assessing budget. Last year's budget was $81,800. We're going to increase it by 6% to $86,650. We've increased the postage because we have to send out letters to all people about their personal property. So some of the postage has gone up, so we increased it by 200. Everything down to outside services we've deleted because we have an outside service. We hire our assessors, so. And the payroll for the person that works in code for the assessors, like 2 to 4 hours a week, that's covered in her salary in code office, so we didn't include a salary. Our outside services are 50,000. Office supplies 100, printing and ads 150, computer software is 2,500. Tax maps, we increased by 5,000 to 10,000 because we're still having some problems with coordinating the tax maps so that NDS has the same numbers that we have, and we want to get that all straightened out this year. So that should go down next year, but we increased it so we can get that work done. When our assessing agents, O'Donnell's and associates, inherited it, our tax maps weren't caught up since 2020, so they've worked very hard to get them caught up, and hopefully this year we're going to get them totally caught up to 2026, so that's why that's a little higher than it's been. Maintenance contracts are 2,800. The big item is legal fees for 20,500. So we have to have a reval on both Brookfield, all the dams, and also on Blue Triton, Primo. And so we're not sure what that number is going to be. On Brookfield, we've started, John O'Donnell and Associates and our lawyer have sent out the letter requesting all the information they need to be able to do the reval. We have Brian Fogg, who's from Madison, that's going to be doing the assessment on the dams. He did them for us last time, so we're not sure how much that's going to cost because he may come back and say we don't need to do, we just need to look at numbers and figure out what we want to charge them for the next 4 years. So we had an arbitration with Brookfield because I don't know if y'all remember, but all the towns were charging them 100% even though they didn't own 100% of the dams. So they took everybody to court, and we had David Selk was our lawyer, and we arbitrated and settled on 4 years of what we were going to charge them and how much tax we had to pay them back. So that's all over. So we just need new numbers. The last time they evaluated Primo or Poland Spring or Blue Triton, Mark is a federal person that does agencies like that, and he didn't recommend that we actually go into the company because when he looked at the initial numbers, his numbers were going to be lower than what Primo was estimating their value was. So we decided at the time not to send him in, so he may have to go in this time. They've added a lot of additional equipment to their building, so it might behoove us to do that. They also have now the solar farm, which is owned by a different company, but we're getting taxes for that. And then Brookfield has the battery storage, which we get a lot of tax back for, so. But we're just not sure about that number, but I wanted it to be enough. I did talk to both Dave Selk and to John, and they felt that that was a fair number to put down so we have enough money to pay for those expenses. So our total would be $86,650. The revaluation is going to cost us $269,500. We didn't put that in the budget itself because, like we talked about before, we're hoping to use whatever we have left from our carry forward towards that and then take the rest out of the general fund so it doesn't become a tax burden for the taxpayers.
Mary, will the reevaluation cost of $269,000 be a separate warrant item?
Well, it depends how we do it because we checked with MMA and we're going to check with legal. My understanding is we can take that, whatever amount we have left over from the carry forward from 24-25 and just use that as a carry forward, and that would decrease that number to something a little more reasonable.
Won't we have to amend that article in the ordinance now that does not allow us to use the carry forwards for that purpose?
Oh, it actually says we can use the carry forward for anything that's within that article itself, and assessing is in that article.
But doesn't that article also say that the carry forwards are obligated to be used for the line item that they were?
No, it's just the warrant article. And we're checking with legal on that again. So we'll by the end of the budget season, because I have 2 questions into legal about that,
Okay,
to
well, I
make
just
sure
think
that
if-
we can
if it-
use
if it
them.
if it needs to be
Because if
done,
not, we're
the
going to,
select board's got to address it.
yeah, if not, we'll put it on the warrant as coming out of the general fund,
Okay.
so that it's not a tax burden. Because they're supposed to start next summer, probably summer, fall, with it, and be done for the 2027 taxes. So any questions?
Move to accept the budget as presented for discussion purposes.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Mary.
You're welcome.
Okay,
What are we up to?
well, we did parks, we did sports, now we're in health.
So that's me.
Dick, you're going to present
Yeah,
health?
well,
Sure.
it's a very simple process. This is and I didn't bring the actual document that has the breakdown. I don't think I have it with me, I'm sorry, but I went to the contract for EcoMaine, and basically the collection process is the same, but EcoMaine went up on their tonnage and tipping fees, and on both the trash and recycling side. So I took our estimated trash collection and recycling collection times the new rate, and those are the numbers that you see, which would total with the pickup from the contractor, and then those 2 trash and recycle fees, $544,000 even. The tonnage has been fairly consistent year to year, so I think I might have rounded to the next whole number, but I didn't go up significantly because we stayed fairly level throughout the last couple of years.
So what are we getting as member benefit? I mean, we're a member, or we're part owner of EcoMaine, right? We're supposed to get benefits. Are these rates because our membership rates, or are they the rates that people from the outside pay?
Mary, do you know? Yeah, they are membership rates. I mean, they are sent to us and neighboring communities that are our participants.
Okay, so and then there's a 92% increase in recycle?
Yeah. There's no market.
That's what it is, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we recycling like we should, or are we not bothering?
Good question. I don't know.
Yeah. I see a lot of people not even bothering to recycle.
Right.
We're probably not, and I don't remember there's initials. They're just instituting a new program where they're charging like Amazon and all those companies for the packaging that they use. And then if we recycle it and they count it for us, we get a certain percentage back, and I think starting in 2027. They haven't set it up because there's supposed to be somebody in the state that monitors it, but we're eventually supposed to get some of that money refunded.
Did we get any money in this last cycle?
No, because it's supposed to start in 2027.
Okay.
New system.
New system.
time we got
And
a
it's
pretty
it's something with the, but they're literally charging companies, because I don't know about you, but sometimes it's like you get this little thing in a great big box with all this paper, and I've noticed that some of the companies are starting to use much less than they used to.
Yeah. I'll move to accept the budget as presented for discussion purposes.
Seconded.
All in favor? Any further discussion? All in favor of accepting the budget as presented, say aye.
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 Okay, Health and Sanitation Comprehensive Plan.
That's Mary.
Mary Hoffman, we're increasing the budget to $5,000. We've been working on this comprehensive plan since 2020, and it got stuck down at Southern Maine Planning and Development during COVID. And so we're trying to update it so it's not a 2024 document, but a 2026 document so that it will be good for 10 years. We also want to get state approval of that plan. So it's sort of like you have like a checklist you have to go through. So my committee of 3 have worked very, very hard. We've got the plan all updated so that it's current information. A lot of the sections that we got back were 2015, so we've got it updated to 2024, 2025, depending on the data we could get. So we're hoping to have it on the November ballot. And so last time when we had Southern Maine Planning and Development work with us, it was about $7,950. We met with them probably a week ago because our contract, unbeknownst to me, had expired, so we had to meet with them again. They're going to be working with us in May to give us a new estimate, but I just want to have enough money. My plan is to use up the $2,000 we have in 2025. I think we've probably spent $100 of that. And then add another $5, and we may be over, but I just want to get it done and be done with it. Because I probably can read you line by line.
I think we can kind of sort it out. I don't think you
Yeah.
need to do that.
But I just want it to be updated so it's current information, not old information. Because things like our debt is going to be 1%. Because we only have that one bond that fixed up Sand Pond Road and some other roads. And we only owe till 2029 on it, so.
Okay, do we have a motion?
Second.
Excuse me. Any more comment? Okay, let's, all in favor of the accepting the comprehensive plan budget?
Aye.
All right,
Aye.
Next on the list, FICA. Dick, I guess you're presenting that?
I tried to give you a worksheet that I use to calculate this. Excuse me. What I did, I pulled together all of the individual department wages and totaled those, applied the 6.2% Social Security and the 1.45% Medicare, and then compared year to year. And you're free to come over and give me a tap on the shoulder and say your brain is scrambled, because I can tell these, when looking at it post-completion, probably difficult to follow, but I have wages 25, 26, as you see, and 26, 27, and how they moved, and then and what the difference was. And then, as I said, Social Security and FICA were calculated for each department and then totaled. And then you'll find in the middle of that, those two columns that have the boxes at the bottom, that is in the middle of that, 21,477 is the family medical leave 1% fee that is paid by the town. So the totals are carried across, as I say, the differences in wages, differences in FICA and in Social Security. I don't know how to explain it any better than that, and I thought the worksheet might help.
Dick, why are we breaking out FICA as a separate item and looking at that as a budget item rather than look at a total picture of all of the labor burden? Besides, so you got FICA, and that's a 50-50 match with employers. And then you have, FUTA, the federal unemployment tax, which is 100% employer. And then you got SUTA, which is state, which is 100% employer. And then you got workman's comp, which is 100% by employer payment. Why are we just looking at FICA, or do you plan on doing this for the other payroll liabilities as well.
I honestly can't answer you, but I will tell you that I have a meeting on Friday with our auditor, and I intend to discuss these configurations. I think that they're confusing, as I suspect is what you're referring to, because they're all over the place. We can't see our cost
Correct.
of employee, I don't want to call it a burden because they earn their keep, but what our costs are. Yeah, so I'm going to talk to the auditor on Friday. We're meeting at his office, and our discussion will encompass how to restructure our budget projections and our the formulation of these items as you referenced. I can't answer what has happened in the past.
Yeah.
I think that the workers' comp insurance is in the insurance budget, which I don't think we've seen yet.
Yeah.
And I don't think that you pay unemployment.
Maybe.
I think that's why you're not seeing unemployment,
Yeah, I agree with you.
because you don't pay unemployment as a municipal.
Why would that be shot?
Because your municipal don't pay unemployment.
So, and I would have to say that Dick has spent so much time on this that he didn't get to sort of combining them all. I know that that's really probably what we should eventually do, but he spent a lot of time trying to figure out previous year's budgets and what went where, and we had to ask a lot of questions to get to this point even. So I think that probably will be something that we try to do next year, but, you know.
Well, yeah, so then maybe we don't need to have this as a separate warrant item.
Right.
I think what we were trying to get to last year, and Don made the suggestion, was that we see not only the labor, but we also see
what
the
you get
additional
for
cost
benefits.
that labor is.
Yep.
So that we can allocate it to the different budgets.
Right.
And I think that's where we're trying to go. Is that correct, Don? I mean,
Right,
we want-
that and the cost of benefits.
And I
cost
think
benefit.
that next year we'll be able to get there. It
yeah,
was
so I don't
just
know that-
very confusing to figure out where some of the numbers came from, and I didn't have to work with them. We're like,
No, I think it is kind
Yeah.
of confusing, but I
Yeah.
think that.
I think
ultimately,
that's the
what we're
ultimate
working
goal,
towards,
yeah.
And I don't know that it happens this time around, Dick, but ultimately what, Don and the committee was looking for was that we could actually see on a budget line basis what not just the wages, but what the total cost of that wage represents.
right.
So we can better understand the budget rather than just look at a sheet that says insurance for everybody.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
I don't disagree with you, but I'm going to lean on Mary's assessment, and that is I was pulling things from so many different places to be able to pull this together to this level. As I said, I'd like to have a discussion with the auditor, and I may have more information for you after I meet with him, as he may give me some tips about getting this aligned in the fashion that you want. Right now, I'm following what has happened historically because I can't pull all those pieces together and realign it without somebody else helping me get that into the system as it should be. And in order to be able to provide the result to you, it's a manual effort at best, because right now, if you look at our reports, they are FICA's separate, insurance is separate, and this is separate, and that's separate. And I have exhausted myself.
No, I know, and I understand, and this is a tough spot for you to be in the first year. We never really satisfied it last year. That's why you can't find a reference to it.
Right.
So,
And I know that you guys have asked for many, many years for budgets to be presented that way.
I'm just hoping that.
So hopefully
ultimately
next
we're
year
gonna
we'll be
get
able to do that.
We're going to get to see that.
Yep.
And I don't know what this particular budget does for us.
Just gives us
It
numbers
shows the payroll taxes.
It's for the
for taxes.
FICA, and that's
Yeah.
Right,
basically all
it's the
we're saying.
payroll taxes,
Yeah.
is what it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
You know,
But eventually we'll
but,
get
to me, it
to
doesn't
the other
answer
way.
the question, but I'm willing to move forward with this as it's presented.
I actually felt rather pleased that I was able at least to give you a breakdown by department I'm hoping to bring it down to various roles within the payroll.
Okay, well, I think that's fair, and I think if you have a conversation with the auditor, maybe we can get a little closer to,
Yeah.
what we're, that final product we're looking for.
And then I know John O'Donnell also wants to work with us on revenues because he has a much easier way to do revenues. So when we're doing the taxes, trying to figure out the mill rate, we don't inadvertently make a mistake and leave something out that we should have had in and
Yeah, I think
give you
that
the
would be
wrong
a
taxes.
Very
So,
important conversation.
yeah.
Okay, to move forward, do I have a motion to accept this budget as presented for
I have
FICA?
a quick question, Joe, before. Just curious, Dick, I'm just kind of running the numbers. So this is proposing a wage increase of 9.6%, if my math is right. So I'm just curious why the FICA budget's going up by 13% when the wage increase is 9.6, if my math is right here.
Did you add the two together?
Add the two together.
The Medicare
Well,
and Social Security?
I'm just looking at the, just at your differences here. They're all 13.6. They're all driven by salary directly, I'm assuming, so.
I can't answer you off the cuff.
Okay.
How do you want to leave that, Jim?
Want to come back to it?
Yeah, I think we probably want to. I mean, I'm not challenging your math, Dick, but it doesn't tie, so there may, I'm just wondering if these numbers are on the high side on the FICA budget. Because you would assume that if the wages are up 9.6%, then the FICA budget should be correspondingly, so.
So, do you just want clarification on that, or do you want us to table the FICA budget?
I'll table it if you like.
Yeah.
I think that would make sense.
Yeah, I propose we table it.
Okay, so I have a motion to table the FICA budget. Jim, you making a motion?
Yes, make a motion that we
Do I have a
table them.
second? Okay, all in favor? Say
Aye.
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 Okay, we'll table that one. Wages, that's the next budget item. Dick, you going to present that?
I'm sorry, what
All
is?
right, wages.
Yeah, I'm wondering that too. Why is that on there? Most of the wages we've approved in each and individual budget. This is just an overview to get the Medicare and Social Security and things. I'm confused about the item on our agenda for wages.
I think it's just, I agree with you, Don. I think it's just for clarification. I don't think it really needs a vote.
It may have been a reference to this.
Excuse me?
I probably just added that, sent you the budget, but I didn't know that they went together.
Okay,
So I
Okay.
so we'll
Okay.
just scratch that off.
Yeah, I think so. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, I'd say that that's just clarification for what we're doing. Operations and maintenance.
You want to do it, Mary? Do you want me to? All right. Well, this is another puzzle that I put together from a lot of different sources, so bear with me. There are a couple of items that changed late this afternoon, and let me help you with understanding where those are and what they are. These expenses, again, have been a product of looking back historically and then looking forward to what we have before us, and then estimates of items that surfaced in the most recent, as specifically this morning in the safety meeting. And that is, under outside services, that was actually in the original planning. That is an increase, significant increase, because, and I don't think it may very well be that much. That's the payroll company of $20,000, and it was, it will serve a number of purposes. It will be not only payroll, but it's going to also serve some HR functions in the form of employee manual. They are also offering, and we're going to be exploring, which may end up being a savings, a alternative to the 1% straight out of the out of the Family Medical Leave Act. They suggested to me when we were talking about the plan that they could connect us with a provider at about half of that rate. So we will be able to drop maybe half of that $24,000 and add that back in. It'll help pay for the payroll service, actually. In the equipment category, you'll see a fairly significant increase as well. We had a discussion as a result of this winter, actually. It's a learning curve. We've discovered that the snow loves to fly off this metal roofing. And for those of us who are working here, when it goes, you'd think a train was landing on the top of the building. It's very loud and very fierce. Difficulty in this room, as you see, the roof goes this way. This side of the building has emergency exits, these two doors, and they have been significantly inhibited with runoff from the roof after the storms and the heat transfers up. That snow, as well as some of the other areas of the walkways that surround the building, have been manually shoveled by our maintenance fellow here, Alan, and I suggested that that's probably more than what he should be doing as well. We have other uses. So we put as a offset I'll call it a medium to small size John Deere tractor with a bucket that he can then scrape this area clean and the walkways without, and the 2 tanks of propane that we snowplow mounds of snow in front of, and the delivery agreement is that we keep the pathways open to the tanks. And that is part of the basis in the winter for the purchase of the tractor. Then in the summertime, there is use for it, as you heard from the sports complex. We looked at alternatives. There is an opportunity to rent one from somebody like Home Depot. And there are folks that have an individual. We've been told by legal that individual equipment can't be used even if it's the operator is the owner in the town's functions. So this is a small, as I said, a small John Deere type with a bucket to enable the snow to be moved and some summer activities in the sports complex. So with every good thing that we do, we get a little bit more punished, and that is, as you find in the capital expenditures, about $15,000, and that is for a small, I say small, maybe 8 by 10 storage facility to put that tractor and the snow blower that has been residing in the barn up at the end of the road together in a safe place that can be locked up. And I'm sure that's not the end of the equipment. Alan uses blower and weed whacker type things and that sort of equipment. Anything with gasoline, it should not be stored in this building, and we're not really sure it's safe up at the other end of the road. Suggestion was made by one of the select board members to purchase a small freestanding but lockable facility to put that equipment in. That's a high price. I have found some that are in the $10,000 to $12,000 range, but I haven't actually gone and shaken the doors and looked at the windows and so forth to make sure what it is. So I aimed a little high because I don't want to buy a piece of junk that we'll end up having to replace in a couple of years. And beyond that, I am again tracking from prior years and seeming that we're going to land a little bit higher because of those 3 items. Beyond that, I think we are almost neutral from one year to another. I don't have my math calculator with me.
Yeah, I would say you're right, Dick. I mean, if you take out the payroll expense, added payroll expense, we're probably neutral.
Yeah.
And we really thought it was a safety issue with somebody literally shoveling ice. I mean, because once it comes off the roof, if it's a little warm out, by the time he gets to some of it, it's pure ice, almost. I mean, it's just, and it's amazing how fast that walkway over here fills up.
Yeah, and storing any gas-powered machinery in our basement will cause the fire chief to have cardiac arrest. We'll be doing chest compressions on him, I'm sure, if he saw that thing down there. So, yeah, that's not a good place for it.
No.
Okay, Do we have a motion to accept this budget as presented?
I have one quick question. Dick, do you think there's any cost savings in the payroll service in terms of the actual activities that have traditionally been done here?
I do, and we're still in the learning stage, but I think that the number one, the payroll deposit still has to, cash has to be moved, but the daily time tracking is going to be all electronic. You're going to be able to do it either on a phone or a computer, and for those who are doubting Thomas's, the computer or the phone will also have geocoding so that you can't log in from home or Market Basket and then drive up here to work a half hour later. That's the first thing that somebody said, well, that's great, I'll be able to jump in and nobody will know where I am. That's not so. So that'll be coded and tracked. I don't think there's anybody that would do it, but it's there. So we're in the learning curve, but we're going to have the time management. The payroll review will be a lot easier. And I think we're going to take, she may differ with me if she were here, but I think it's going to take a day plus off from the treasurer's work week, excuse me. And the results after the fact, the reporting that we can get from it will give you probably more of what you're looking for.
I think it will.
Than my silly calculator and head can put together for you in a short order. And as I said, these guys, in their pitch to us, face-to-face, said, we can produce a family medical leave provider for about 0.47% as opposed to the 1%. And based on that 24, we'll get 12 back, which is
Half of it, yeah.
pretty good. We got to take that step forward, but it's something that we will ask them to do once we get our nervous figures and learning curve over the application of the software.
We did the same thing at the school board.
I'm sorry?
We did the same kind of thing with the school board with the family planning thing that we have another.
Take it out to us.
Oh, yeah,
Sure.
saved us a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, do we have a motion to accept the operations and maintenance budget?
To approve.
Seconded.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that takes care of our budget review. Just under old business, I have, unfortunately, I have been remiss. The first meeting that we had was canceled, and we should have taken a vote at that time for chair and vice chair. So I'd like to bring that to the floor and, rectify that situation for this session that we've entered into. If somebody would make a nomination to elect a chair and vice chair.
I nominate Joe Ponzetti for chair.
And how about vice chair? Shelley Brooks
Shelley?
has been vice chair for forever.
Yeah, I nominate Shelley for vice chair.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Get that little bit of bookkeeping behind us. Next meeting is March 10th, next week, next Tuesday. Hopefully, I know, Jim, you can't make it. You'll be excused. And Shelley may or may not be able to make it. She's going to try. So it'll be obviously important that Donna, will you be able to make it?
As far as I know, yeah.
Okay, and Janet said that she could, and I certainly will be able to be here. One other item before adjournment. Tomorrow is my friend Jim's birthday. He enters a new decade. I won't say which one.
Yeah.
So just happy birthday, Jim.
Thank you. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Another zero.
Okay, a motion to adjourn.
What are these other documents that we have here? What are those for?
What other?
I don't know, something about water testing and.
Those are some notes that Mary provided that are supportive of the water testing that's in our.
So we're going to have
in case
monthly
there was a
water
question.
testing for, they estimate about $500 a month to test the water because we now have PFAS in our water, which sort of complicates things a little bit. So,
Is that something we have to approve, or the?
no, it was just informational so we could do the budget. And the only thing I wanted to bring up is, as many of you know, we have a Bar Mills decommissioning committee, and they've been working very hard. And so we're going to talk as a select board, but we probably won't be able to vote on it till Roger gets back, because we need some funding to pay the lawyer that we hired. And I think it's very important that we maintain the lawyer. He read the whatever page initial draft. They're going to be coming out with their plan, I think, next week. And then we have 90 days or something to come back to him. Jim, you know more about this, right?
Yeah, yeah, well, there's a
But
whole
we-
process.
But we're going to need some money. So what we're going to do is we're going to reach out to Mike. Don't ask me what his last name is or the company, but we're going to reach out to him and try to get a guesstimate about how much he thinks it's going to cost to continue the process, and then ask the board to take it out of the 200,000 that we can, and then ask you guys for approval.
So we hadn't had a chance to discuss that, but I did have an exchange with him, and as you might expect, he said, well, it all depends on what the answer is, and it all depends on what that happens, and so forth. I'm confident that you folks are making good progress, and I think that this is a bit of a poker game.
I would agree. I think we're kind of coming up against some hard stands now. We'll see at this next meeting, but the sense is that, I mean, it's really coming down to the powerhouse and what the
Because we
resolution is.
got a legal note from their attorneys, Pretty Flannery or
Yeah.
something like that.
Clarity.
And then we just received a note from our lawyers saying how they would respond, but Dan and I wanted to wait until, because you all are going to be meeting, I think, this week maybe, and then on the 9th
The 9th, I think, yeah. We're meeting this week, and then next week we meet with Brookfield.
with,
again.
what's his name that chairs those meetings?
Bruce.
Bruce, yeah. He's been hired by the company to sort of help.
Yeah, be a moderator, middleman.
But anyway, so we'll get some information from them about what their plans are. But we really feel it's important. We paid quite a bit of money for them to review it, and we'd like to keep them on board because I think it's important.
Okay, thank you, Mary.
You're welcome.
Okay, we have a motion, I believe we have a motion to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, meeting adjourned, thank you.
Yeah, just did the quick